Hello, beautiful artists. I'm Kelly Hernig, and welcome to my 100-Day Project. On Mondays and Thursdays, we'll be exploring 3 colors, then paint a subject to see what magic they create. Thank you so much for being here. Now let's go paint. Guess what? We have come to the end of my 100-Day Project. By that I mean we have filled this entire book with color and leaves. So beautiful. So many different color choices, so many beautiful leaves, and I want to thank you for following me on this journey. I had set out to fill this book so that I could experiment with the colors that I already own and see what kind of mixes they create. And I'm thrilled with the results. I wanted to share a flip through with you. So at first it's just going to be quiet. I'm just going to flip page after page after page. I'm going to let you know which number it is so that if you missed any, you could go back and look at the videos. So let's start there. So this was number 1 and 2. This was 3 and 4. This is 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's also a review up to this 1 through 20, so you can look that up as well. Talk about each color. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Now I have a little bit of stats for you, which is pretty cool too. I wrote down all of the colors we used. In here we used 8 brands of color. The majority of mine were Daniel Smith, as you can see. And then I had 2 paints of Magello Mission, Van Gogh, and American Journey. And then I had single colors of Holbein, Schminke, Seignelay, and Da Vinci. I used 8 brands of watercolors with 33 colors being used. And I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with the colors that I have that I can now make. I know that a lot of you are following along and using what colors you have, and that just thrills me beyond limits. I'm so excited that you use this to explore your own palette, because that was the whole point of this, so that you could color along with me. Maybe you found a similar yellow or a similar kind of red or else a gray, or else you made one just to play along with me. I enjoy videos that are interactive like that, and I have really appreciated your comments, your likes, your thoughts on the colors too, because it's really interesting to me to see what you think of a color versus what I think of a color. Now I do have some colors that I will be exploring over and over and over. So let me go through and just tell you the colors that I used once again. I know I gave you the numbers, but this way you can kind of see them in color. I'll go backwards because, like I said, we have a review from 1 to 20. So we'll start at number 38 here. This was Daniel Smith Naples Yellow, Magello or Mission Red Brown, and Holbein Davies Gray. This is 36 and 35. I used the quinacridone, Daniel Smith quinacridone Burnt Scarlet, American Journey Pat's Coastal Blue, and Daniel Smith Sepia. Now, what did you learn? Sepia is my favorite brown. For number 33 and 34, Magello Shell Pink, it's also Mission, Daniel Smith Purling Green, and Daniel Smith Lavender. 31 and 32 is American Journey French Gray, Da Vinci Artemis, and American Journey Pat's Coastal Blue. 29 and 30, American Journey Apricot, Daniel Smith Indigo, and Van Gogh Raw Sienna. 27 and 28 is American Journey Pat's Coastal Blue, Daniel Smith Lunar Red Rock, and Daniel Smith Buff Titanium. 25 and 26, Daniel Smith Lunar Violet, Daniel Smith Gray Titanium, and Daniel Smith Lunar Blue. 23 and 24 is Daniel Smith Buff Titanium, Seignelay Bright Yellow Green, and Schminke Tundra Green. 21 and 22, Holbein Davies Gray, Daniel Smith Naples Yellow, and Daniel Smith Roasted Red Ochre. I have to say, this is a palette that is a game changer for me. I loved the combination of these colors. If I had to have just 3 colors on my palette, it could be just these 3 colors. I loved it that much. And then this is where the other one starts, the review from 1 to 20. So as you see, I've gotten a lot of different colors. There are a couple palettes, like I said. This one I would use over and over again because I can just see this in so many possibilities. This one, I'm still using this combination inside my palette today, and I love it. I started this, I think, last year, maybe in 2021 even, but I just like the combination. They're dull, they're brilliant together, I think, and they're not what you expect. Like when you look at this palette, it's kind of muted and it's kind of okay, but look at the magic it creates here. And this is the part that excites me. Yes, this is what we studied, but seeing it in the different ways through me splashing and adding a lot more water and mixing the colors, I think we get a better sense of what the colors will do to one another and for one another. And I like that. We also got to see how some colors moved with others. You know, some were very stingy and didn't move at all. Some really played well with others and moved all throughout the leaves. That was a really powerful exercise for me to study with. This combination here, I don't really care for these colors, but I love this mix. And I know this is due to it's more muted, it's got a lot more gray, and it's softer in appearance than this. You know, I would probably use this side more, see how they're a little lighter, than this side, see how more intense they are. And to me, that little edge here is reflected in this leaf here. I really, really like this one too. The addition of the gray titanium, even though it's a brownish gray, you know, it's a lot warmer than like a blue gray. I really liked how it toned down the burnt scarlet as well as the raw sienna. It gave me some beautiful yellow greens in here, but it also gave me some nice orange browns. See how pretty those are? And well, look at that leaf. It just feels like a fall day to me. I liked playing with this Da Vinci Artemis. It is a color that separates into the blue and the violet, and I will want to explore this with a lot more colors. I could probably fill a whole nother book with just Artemis in different colors because I like the way that it looks. I love that we gave it 2 different ways over here so that we could see it really washed out and really kind of more in the middle. It's just a really fun color that I'm going to explore a little bit more. Again, love this palette. These greens were nice. Now, I tried my hardest to make the Seignelay bright yellow green work on my palette. I'm not sure that I succeeded. However, it was fun to challenge myself. And I bought the color because it was intriguing to me, but I didn't know how to work it. And I still don't know how to work it. Yes, I'm getting closer. Like, I love these greens here. And I love actually how it mixed with the buff titanium up here. And this looks really nice. So I will give it another chance. The lunars, oh my goodness, the lunar colors. So I loved experimenting with them so much in this book that I went ahead and bought the Lunar Earth and the Lunar Black so that I could explore all 5 with you together. Look for that coming. Here's the Lunar Red Rock. I love this palette too. I just think this is such a dreamy palette. It just makes me happy thinking about it. And I really like the appeal of it. It's soft. You can find a rainbow of colors in there. And I just really, really like it. I want to try these 2 colors. This was the Pat's Coastal Blue and the Buff Titanium. I want to try that with a couple other reds to see what kind of other results I get. You see how this has spurred me on to try different things. So just by replacing this one, but leaving these 2 the same, is going to give me a different look. You know, this was the Lunar Red Rock, but I would also like to try this one, the Roasted French Ochre. I would also like to try this one on the back, the Magella Red Brown, to see how they would work with this palette, because it's going to shift it slightly. And for me, that's what it's about, is looking at the colors and how they move and how they kind of, I wouldn't say mutate, but change with every little addition that they make. So this is a palette that I will definitely be working over and over to find just the perfect mix for that. Again, using Artemis. I liked it in this instance too. I really liked how it mixed with the French Gray up here and the Pat's Coastal. And look at the results there. I just think it's really pretty. The Purulane Green was a really nice addition. I just bought that, so it was fun to experiment it with a muting color and a little more white looking color, because the shell pink has some white into it. But I really love the softness that it achieved here. Again, if you sort this in half and look at this half of the palette, how kind of muted it is, where if you look at this, it's much darker and a little more bright with the lavender and the shell pink. But that is definitely a palette that I can use, and this shows me what it can do. I like everything about this palette as well. Again, this is that Pat's Coastal Blue and Sepia and Burnt Scarlet. I just really like the combination. I love this coloration. It just seems like a vintage fall day to me. That's what I think of. I don't know if it's like, I can picture like an old time scarf or an old perfume bottle with these kind of colors on it. Just really soft and really beautiful. And that's what this makes me think of. This color I really like too. Now, you know my love for the Holbein Davies Gray. I've called it my superhero color. I will be doing a Davies Gray kind of face-off. I think I've bought 3 other brands of Davies Gray so that I can see how different they are. This one I really liked because it's more blue-green than a lot of the different ones that I've seen that lean towards the gray side. So that will be a fun experiment. And that's just because of how they played in this book, and I really liked that experimentation. Once again, it's just really great to see all these colors and to see now how they fit with my palette and how I can use them. And I hope you've gained that too, just seeing as we add water and splashes how different it looks, making 2 leaves instead of 1 so that you could see one a little darker and one a little lighter. I think as artists, we always need to experience because it opens our minds to new possibilities. That was one of the challenges with this, is I needed to try those colors with colors that I already knew worked in my palette, because I like to change. I like to add new things. I like to play with color, but in a way that I'm comfortable. So this book here has helped me get comfortable with a lot of different colors that I wouldn't have tried. In fact, that I purchased to just have here and someday play with them. This made me use them. So I hope that you've looked at those colors and seen them as they've gone on the palette and changed and took on different tones and different values. I hope that's excited you as much as it has me. I would love to know your thoughts on this 100-day journey. So please, if you can, leave me a comment down below. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It will help my channel grow. Until next time, keep color mixing. You just never know what you'll discover.